Here's a smooth, colourful and tasty combination of lightly seasoned vegetables smothered in a coconut-flavoured gravy. It can be served dry with breads, or by varying the liquid content can be made moist and served with rice. Very versatile. Let's have a look at the ingredients here for our succulent curry. We've got 3 tablespoons of ghee, clarified butter, a tablespoon of ginger that's been minced, 2 or 3 hot green chilies, 1 cinnamon stick. We've got 10 fresh curry leaves. We've got 1.5 cups each of stringless beans, potatoes, pumpkins, zucchinis, cauliflower and carrots. Back on our spice platter, we've got a teaspoon of turmeric and coriander. We've got 1.5 teaspoons of salt, a teaspoon of sugar, and 1 cup of coconut milk, 1/4 cup of water, and of fresh minced coriander leaves. This is definitely what I would call a one-pot meal. Literally, we're going to cook it all in one pot and it's done. The first thing we're going to do is saute our spices. We've got our ghee and our ginger and our green chilies going in first. It's always nice to saute the fresh ingredients first, and their flavour will hence permeate the whole dish. So ginger and chilies are sautéing away. Their wonderful aromas are filling my kitchen. Straight after, we're going to add the cinnamon stick. That's just going to be cooked into the curry, and you can actually fish it out again at the end. The curry leaves, I always tear my curry leaves before I put them in, extracting their volatile oils. As soon as they hit the ghee, they crackle and wonderful, wonderful flavour. And some yellow asafoetida powder. Now this is smelling very wonderful. When you think your spices are sautéed sufficiently, they should be very, very aromatic. It's time to add all of our vegetables, namely the cauliflower, the carrots, the zucchinis, the pumpkins, the potatoes, and the green beans. Well, this is a chock-a-block pot here. Now we're going to gently turn our vegetables in the flavoured ghee. We coat them with some of our powdered spices. Note that I didn't cook my powdered spices first. Powdered spices tend to scorch and burn. So whole, fresh spices first and powdered spices afterwards. Turmeric powder for that traditional yellow colour present in all curries, followed straight behind by coriander powder. I never use coriander seeds whole, I always grind them up. I don't purchase coriander powder, but I actually get the seeds and grind them in my spice grinder for a much superior flavour. Now that turmeric is coating all of our vegetables now with a lovely yellow hue. Now, by sautéing the vegetables in the spices before you add the moisture, the flavours of the spices are more impregnated into the vegetables, hence a superior flavoured result. Finally, we're going to add, before we add the liquid, a little bit of sugar just to balance the flavours, and our sea salt, as much as little as you require. Now this recipe is very adaptable. You don't have to stick to these vegetables. This is just a suggestion. You can combine any vegetables according to the season. What also goes nice in this curry is Brussels sprouts, peas, sweet potato, squash, broccoli, you name it. Sugar snap peas are nice, limited only by your imagination. Now you can increase the heat by adding more chilies to this dish if you like a really hot curry, and you can adjust the juiciness by adding more or less water or coconut milk. So it's really very flexible. Now we're putting in some water and drizzling in our coconut milk. That immediately tempers the heat a little bit of the saucepan. Here it's sort of simmered down a little bit. Now we've got the added aroma of wonderful coconut milk. The coconut palm, by the way, is one of the oldest food plants known to man. Its name is recorded in the Vedic texts in Sanskrit. Apparently, it's estimated that 20 billion coconuts are produced each year around the world. The word coconut, incidentally, comes from the Portuguese word coco, meaning monkey or goblin. The markings on the stem end of a coconut look uncannily like a face, if you've ever noticed. Sometimes a little scary. It looks like the coconut's looking at you. Now, by the way, the liquid that's inside the coconut, you know when you buy a coconut and you shake it, that liquid inside, that's not what we're referring to as coconut milk. That juice inside, of course, is nice to drink, especially when the coconuts are young and green. But coconut milk is made differently. You can make your own coconut milk by combining about 1 1/4 cups of boiling hot water with the grated flesh of one coconut in a food processor and then squeezing it through a sieve or cloth. You can also use dried coconut, desiccated coconut, but actually canned coconut milk appears to be the most common, popular item these days. A note about canned coconut milk, it's called Suntan. Avoid brands with a lot of stabilizers and preservatives on the labels. You really only need to get brands which have coconut and water inside. When you open up your can of coconut milk, it should smell sweet naturally, and pleasant flavours should come out. If there's any rancid flavours or grey colours, throw it away. Okay, well, let's pop our lid on here, and we should cook this for about another 20 to 30 minutes. Oh, our curry looks done. It is. All those veggies are soft. The carrots are soft. That's a good test. If the carrots are done, everything else is done, because they're the hardest vegetables in the batch. It's always good to test like that. Well, look at this. This looks absolutely divine. Beautiful, succulent, moist vegetables coated in a flavoursome curried coconut liquid. Beautiful. All we need to do, actually, before I forget, is fold in our lovely coriander leaves. Fresh coriander, best added at the end, not only because they add a lovely herbal flavour, but they look nice and fresh and green, and are very appropriate to curries such as this one. Well, there it is. I think that's ready to go. Serve it with hot rice or breads such as chapatis. Mixed vegetable curry with coconut milk is sure to please.